I just want to thank Nalin. She's been a very strong, outspoken person throughout the country. And that's kind of what we hope that throughout, not just an Indian country, in the country itself, that a lot of people come forward and start speaking because a lot of things are a danger right now. And that's why we're here at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. It's because we're talking about billions of gallons of water being destroyed. We're talking about the environment also being destroyed. We're talking about life changes across this country. And as was spoken to you, one of the other major aspects or facts to this fight is the fact that Resolution Copper, Rio Tinto in Arizona, day one, went after an exemption from all federal laws. And they never had intentions to do things right. And from there, so many drastic things have happened from that point. So what it's really revealing is the ugliness of this country and how we do business and how we destroy the environment. And so from the environment, it goes right down to the religion of why we're here. And you're talking about a people of historical history being totally destroyed forever. And when you wipe people's history out, like what you learn here, is that it's going to be a total effect to this country. And so many people across the country is banding together. I really want to say thank you to be on the grounds of Stanford University. And the listeners out there who are hearing the message is because this kind of participation needs to take place, because what's happening in Arizona affects what's happening here. And I know crossing the country, just seeing so many educated people, it's now time to use your education and your knowledge to be involved. There's been several times that I've been invited to other universities to speak about moral decisions. And one of the things was expressed to me, which was very important, was that the universities felt like they're educating all these children or these students and putting them out there, and they're being grabbed by the capitalist world, and then they're instructed how to do things in the country. And so what's happening is that there's no moral decisions being made. And so I agree with that, is that it's important that the universities begin to really help educate about what moral decisions are. Because what you do in your career affects America and globally what's happening. So I'm really proud of, these kids walking here, riding their bikes, going by, throwing an ear here and there to listen. I appreciate that because I'm talking about you, because you make a total impact once you leave this university. And it's important because you'll learn of how all these wrong decisions were made. And it's important that we revisit that. Because there's not going to be life for our children yet to be born. And not just ours, yours. And then if all the billions of water is being destroyed, where are we going to be? There's going to be a panic in this country. And then also what's going to be airborne. And so what you got to remember is that when you have companies like this getting total exemption from our congressional leaders, which they're not even looking at the pros and cons. And yet these leaders say they're educated, they went to a university, and they're making the best decision for the people. Well, we all know that we're in a time of sustainability, that we have to take care of the earth. So if we're all educated like the way we say we are, then it's to use that for all the abusers that have abused Mother Earth. This is the moment and the time that we're in. And I know that there's a lot of issues across America. A lot of things matter, but we got to remember that if we don't have water, if we don't have the earth, then none of those things matter. What matters right now is what we have left. And if all that is destroyed, then there's nothing. So like my granddaughter and those spoke before me, we're here at the Ninth Circuit Court. And there's going to be major decisions going to be made that's going to affect the next 100 years. And if these judges don't make the right decision and they give it to the corporation, then we're really going downhill. Because everything else will be destroyed, meaning that every other corporation is going to use this as an example, a boilerplate to go after everything they can. And in the meantime, Religious places, holy places throughout this country will be destroyed. So what does that mean for your religion? Your religion is not protected. It's not safe. Because this is going to set the example. So we all have to be mindful. We all have to be paying attention. We all have to be involved. I will say that sometimes they do reports on the other side of the world and complain about that. And it's like an illusion, because here, they're doing it here, right underneath us. But yet we say, oh, we're sad about what's happening across the world. But right here, it's happening underneath our feet. It's designed to blind us, and we can't fall for that. And like I tell people, like us Native people have been trying to put a face to what's happening, and the only way I can put it is that in your book, you call him Lucifer. So we know that he sits in these decisions that are being made, because the very thing that keeps us alive is being destroyed. Is being killed, being murdered right in front of us. And I really believe is that if we're concerned whether we're educated or not, it doesn't make any difference, because the very thing that we live on is going to be destroyed. It's going to be killed. So I'm really happy that we have this opportunity to speak to the listeners out there through radio, and that to tell you that, you're invited to our gathering on Wednesday, Thursday, and then to tune in to the hearing, because you got to pay attention to what these federal judges are going to do, because it's a total impact on all of us, one way or another. And then on top of that, we're talking about foreign companies, foreign entities, foreign countries that they're going to give all this so-called copper to and only keep 25% here. And yet there's minings all over Arizona that can cover that 25% and not destroy any water. Even those mining companies have a hard time because of what's already in the riverbeds, what's already in the tributaries that are affecting these canyons that hold water, and slowly creeping to the major water source that heads down to Phoenix and to Tucson. But this one here, again, I got to really emphasize that this mining that we're fighting has been exempt from all environmental laws day one. And what that means that anything prior to this that was passed by John McCain is null and void. So our historical history, our religion, is going to be murdered. There's no other way I can put it. And again, as educated people, we play a big role in this country. Whatever our career is going to be, we're going to have to be making those decisions. And if they're not moral decisions that we're making, then you have nothing, and your children and grandchildren will have nothing. Because that's where we are right now in this moment, in this time. So what we're trying to do here at Stanford University is bring that message from the ground. Kind of like a report from the war zone to those who are sitting in their lovely living rooms. We're kind of doing the same thing. We're giving you this report that's happening on the ground, behind everybody's back. It's not right. And I know university students have stood up for causes that were really important. This is one cause that you need to stand up for, because this is your livelihood. This is your future. These are the children yet to be born's future. But if we don't adhere to the most important thing, then we have no future at all. So again, I just want to say that here's an opportunity for any type of career to come forward and learn, because you're going to be making that decision. You're either going to feed what's bad or you're going to feed what's good. I'm sorry to say, that's where we're at. Don't let these propaganda misguide you. It's misguided a lot of people. And so, again, to the listeners out there, it's very important to really take part and be a part of humanity. Not only people of color have suffered, but even you have suffered. And I tell people that the only difference is that we feel this colonization, capitalism, we could feel it as a chain around our wrists, and our ankles that we can't even support and take care of Mother Earth. But we're breaking those chains to take care of the very things that are important. But I tell people, as a non-Indian, you've been in it longer than I have. You've been colonized longer than I have. And that's why you don't really feel the shackles. And then when the argument is made, the compromise talk about what you want, what you're greedy for. More phones, more cars, more. So that's what they tell me. We have to supply that to the wants of the people. So behind your backs, they're telling me that you're greedy. You're disobedient. You don't know when is enough. And that's why they do these things. So if that's how they think of us and the people, then it's time that we start putting some control to this. Just like what parents do to their children, just like how you got here as a student, how parents have helped. Well, we're in that same boat now, all of us. So we come here spiritually, religiously, in the love of what God gave the world, gave all of us. All the things that you're doing on this campus right now, or either at home, the listeners, it's there to help you. This creation is there to give you, it's supposed to give you an understanding of when enough is enough. So anyway, I just want to say, I'm just trying to find out how much time I have left. I apologize. I don't want to lose anybody's focus. And so anyway, I just want to say, coming back to the court case again, is that this court case is going to affect this country, the people, the religion. It's going to affect the future. It's going to change Arizona. It's going to change policies. It's going to have a dim look to the future of our children. I mean, this is what is at stake. So I just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to say what I need to say. I'm going to have Leanne come back up here to wrap it up. But again, we're going to be out here. We're here in the Bay Area. Go to our website if you want to contact us. We'll be happy to share all this information. Native people, non-native people, religious people, it affects all of us. So if you have the time, please contact us. We'll be happy to sit down with you, because this decision is really the turning point for the next 100 years. There's going to be a fight. So if it's not this university, any other universities in the Bay Area, we're reaching out to everybody. But you got to step up. We're meeting you halfway, but you have to meet us the other halfway. That's our responsibility. So again, I want to thank the people from the Stanford University who made it possible for us to be here. Thank you so much, because this is really an important message. And this is the beginning. This is the seed. And I guarantee you will know and hear more about us, because this is the future. A decision will be made for the future. So with that, I'm going to turn that back to Leanne. And I want to thank everybody in LA, all the people for the support we got in Yuma, Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, making our way up. If you guys are out there listening, I really want to thank you. I wish our words can get back to you, because of all that you've given us, the impact, all the people who came, the elders, from all different, the Asian people who showed up, the African Americans who showed up, the white Americans who showed up to take part in this journey of sustainability and religiously and humanly, on humanity. I want to thank all those people, and then again, Stanford University, I want to thank you for the opportunity. So with that, I'm going to turn that back over to Leanne. So yeah, thank you.